Over the years, I've worked in a camera shop, I've bought a whole bunch of cameras. I've used Canon, I've used Nikon, I've used Fuji, I've used Sony, and I've had the pleasure of using just about every other camera that you can use on the market today. After my EOS R review I just done, I decided that I would come up with a list of what makes the perfect camera for me. Everything I would want and everything I want to be put into a camera. So we're basing this camera, this perfect camera, off of the A9 body. Now we're going to grab the EOS R grip, we're going to cut it off and stick it on to the A9. So we've got a nice feeling grip that just has a really nice feeling shutter button, and it's just better. On top of that, we still have the same tilt screen that the Sony's always had, but now it can also turn all the way around in some kind of weird hybrid maneuver to be a selfie screen. As well as being a selfie screen, it would be much more high definition and much nicer colors, like a D850 LCD screen. Then we'd go ahead and add the finger grip, because some people like a finger grip, but you'd also be able to remove the battery without frickin' taking the thing off, just because it just makes sense. So now that we've got our perfect body, we've got the A9 with the EOS R grip, we've got the D850 LCD screen, but it folds all the way around as well as tilting, because I don't want to take photos with it off to the side. I just want to see myself so I can do my makeup and my hair and make YouTube videos. The next thing we'd add would be the X-T3 film simulation. So we'd have classic chrome and Velvia and all that stuff. Talking about the sensor, we'd have a 32 megapixel sensor because 42 is just too big and 24 is good, but 32 is nice. We'd also be able to shoot 1080p at 240 frames per second, and we'd have 4K at 60 frames a second. For those of you that want to shoot 4K, we'd have two UHS 2 slots, not one UHS 2 slot and one UHS 2 slot, because it's just stupid, and the UHS 1 slot bottlenecks the whole thing. So when you're shooting RAW to both cards, it's just ridiculous, and it's just pointless having one in there unless you're just going to shoot to one card, because I want 2 card slots so I can back up. So give me 2 UHS 2 card slots. Talking about the EOS R, while we're at it, we'd still have the viewfinder of the EOS R, but a little bit bigger, and you'd be able to get an attachment for people that had big dorky glasses like myself, so we could shoot at night without fogging everything up and smudging the screen. Sony would obviously bring back the apps. You'd bring back the apps that were on the A7R2, because it was just cool, and it was cool for landscape, and you could do long exposures without an ND. Bring the apps back. I want the apps back in the camera. I'd also be chucking the Fujifilm X-T3 double exposure settings inside the camera, because it's the best double exposure in camera you can do amongst any camera that I've tried that has double exposures, and that's pretty much all of them. The Canon one is good, but I like the Fuji one better. It would be fully weather sealed just like the A9 is, but the battery door would be more weather sealed because it's really the only weak point of the camera. It would have the focus system of the Sony A9, but it would obviously have the version 5 firmware installed, so I could track animals' eyeballs as well as humans' eyeballs flawlessly. And last but not least, it would have the low light abilities of the Sony A7R3, which is coming out real soon and is obviously going to be like wearing night vision. So that's what I'd put in my camera. You guys comment below, let me know what you put in yours, and let's see what we can come up with. It sounds so good.